Pluto, A Planet or Not by Isabella Hayes. First, I'm going to start with some background on Pluto. Pluto was first discovered on February 18, 1930. Pluto was first discovered by Clyde Tombaugh. Clyde was from Streator, Illinois. Clyde was a farm boy who worked under Percival Lowell, a man who dedicated part of his life to discovering Planet X, but never made it to finding it. Clyde took over Lowell's discoveries. Clyde created many telescopes by using old farm equipment. He figured out how to use two plates and examine them to find differences in hopes of finding Planet X, which he eventually found. Some name history. Pluto was named on March 14, 1930. It was named by an 11-year-old named Venetia Burney from Oxford, England. She was studying Greek mythology in school and liked the name Pluto, who was Hades, god of the underworld. Her father rode to Lowell's observatory, and they liked the name, so it stuck. However, Pluto had a bad rep from being known as a laxative brand used to speed up digestion. But when the famous Walt Disney changed his representation by creating a cute, lovable Pluto dog, everybody loved it. Some characteristics of Pluto. Pluto is really far away from the Sun, 4 billion miles, to be exact. Not only is it far away from the Sun, but it is really small too. Earth is 6 times as large as Pluto. Pluto's diameter is about 1,500 miles. To picture this, think about the map of the United States. Pluto's diameter was stretched from California to only Kansas because it's so small. Pluto is round in shape, but it has an elliptical and inclined orbit, which crosses the orbit of Neptune. This makes its orbit an oval-like shape. It takes Pluto 248 years to rotate the Sun. Pluto is an icy, cold planet with a temperature that can reach 300 degrees below zero. It is a frosty, icy place with wispy clouds and fog. It has a rocky core and icy mantle from being so far away from the Sun. The picture in the bottom right shows Pluto's composition. The top layer is frozen nitrogen. The next layer is water ice, and the next layer is its rocky core. Observations from Earth show that Pluto has a thin atmosphere consisting of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. This can be formed by vaporization of surface ices. Pluto has 3 moons, most popular moons, being Charon, Nix, Hydra, but it actually has more than that. Charon is closer in distance and size to Pluto than our moon to Earth. It is half the diameter and about an eighth the mass of Pluto. And not only that, it orbits only 20,000 kilometers away from Pluto. So, if we were on Pluto, the view to see Charon would be really beautiful. Astronomers can hypothesize that a large comet may have crashed into Pluto's low-density outer layers, forming a ring that Pluto, which could have created Charon and its smaller moons because of their densities. Charon and Pluto rotate in sync with each other, so Charon is visible only one side of Pluto, and always one side is shown of Charon. Therefore, Pluto's day is the same length as Charon's month. New Horizons at Pluto. New Horizons was a spacecraft launched January 2006, but since Pluto is so far away from the Sun, We reached it in July of 2015. This helps scientists uncover new facts about Pluto that were not previously able to be discovered. It was not a long visit, so scientists needed to get everything they could because the spacecraft was flying at a speed of 50,000 kilometers per hour. The spacecraft helped scientists learn new things about Pluto after so many years. Pluto largely is composed of solid nitrogen ice, and Pluto has a pale brown tint. There are very little craters, too. Smooth ice plains are visible like Earth's flowing glaciers. It also has mountains several kilometers tall, possibly made of water ice. Not only did New Horizons see Pluto, but we were able to see Charon. Charon has craters just like Earth does, and it also has vast smooth plains. These are some images that New Horizons took. You can see the tint and the craters and the mountains, and these images we haven't really seen anything like this because Pluto is so far away. So this really was cool. The controversy of Pluto being a planet started when more planets from the Kuiper Belt were being discovered. One in particular, actually, that was named Eris. Eris is larger in size than Pluto is, so you can see how this would stir up some controversy. This made the International Astronomical Union set up a committee tasked to redefine what constitutes a planet. Their new definition would be: a planet is an object in orbit around the sun that is large enough to have its self-gravity pull itself into a round shape. In addition, a planet orbits in a clear path around the sun. If any object ventures near the orbit of a planet, it will either collide with the planet and thereby be accreted or be ejected into another orbit. Without this new definition, a number of planets would have been entered into our count. Pluto meets 2 out of 3 of those conditions, therefore making it not classified as a planet anymore. Pluto is too small to move objects out of its orbit by itself. Therefore, after 76 years, it was demoted to a dwarf planet. The new definition of a planet had not been renamed for many years, so it was time, and Pluto is now a dwarf planet. The definition of a dwarf planet is that it can either be an asteroid or a comet that is large enough to be round. Sadly, Pluto is not a planet anymore and is simply just a dwarf planet. Pluto would have been much larger if it had more debris for it to grow. However, it might have been flung far away from the debris by a larger planet, and now it will be a small planet forever.